Hello, everybody, from this great corner of Miami, Florida, right next to Homestead in Florida City, to all the areas of the United States and the world. This is Roberto Alvarez-Galloso of the Americana Bistro Grill. And I would like to say that we have Minnesota as the start of 2025. In the 20th century, Bob Dylan from Minnesota illuminated the whole of America and the world with his insightful and wise verses to such great music. In the 21st century, there have been many who have tried to imitate Bob Dylan, but none came close as to Johnny Williams and his Outlaw Post EP, which I'm gonna have to be truthful. Yesterday, I heard about 10 times in YouTube. The day before, I heard about 10 times in YouTube. This is an act of genius. You can't deny it. And for me, Johnny Williams, it is a great pleasure and a great honor to have the Bob Dylan of the 21st century.
Wow, thank you so much. It's nice to be here. Thanks for having me. That's
For me, it's a
definitely
pleasure
a
and an
great
honor. You
compliment.
recorded Outlaw Poet EP, but before we get started on Outlaw Poet, did you record anything before?
Nope, those are my first releases.
Great. For being a first release, you have transcended. You've gone up, on, and beyond Bob Dylan. What has been this inspiration behind Outlaw Poet? Not just the EP, but also the YouTube channel that I saw with the photos and everything.
Well, it's just a self-expression and self-ideas that somehow came out in that way. And Outlaw Poet is a mix of two things, and I consider myself both, to be honest.
But you really
I
did
got
a
the
great
outline
job.
and poet. Thank you very
And
much.
how did you get started in Americana music?
Well, growing up, I was surrounded by a lot of different people who listen to a lot of different music. And the singer-songwriters always appealed to me and always seemed to take me. And growing up, I had a big family and we listened to a lot of music. And we would cook together, we would do dishes afterwards as a whole family, and we would listen to a CD or we'd listen to an album. And afterwards, we'd give our opinions and we'd give a breakdown of the songs we'd listened to and why we liked them, why we didn't like them. And over time, I just became somebody who was always writing in my head, always listening to music and thinking, that's a great line. That line doesn't fit. That ruined the whole song for me. Or I could write the song better, or, things like that. And Outlaw Poet is the Outlaw Poet EP is 4 songs that are coming off of my upcoming album, Tales of the Outlaw Poet. And they're just the 4 songs that I kind of decided to share with the world. And um, yeah.
But you really did a great job. I was going to ask you about how do you view your present and the future, but you've already answered the present and the future.
Well, how do I view the present? I'm very happy with the streams I'm getting on YouTube and Spotify, but you always hope for more. And I just want to be able to do this full time, and I want to be able to meet other artists and make more art and tell more stories that people can resonate with. And it's going to take some time, but I think people like what I put out so far. And I think the people who like the EP I put out, they're going to love the album. Personally, I think it's a good start. And the future, I have big goals and big plans for myself. Um, I'd like to be traveling. I'd like to be writing songs and maybe writing songs for other people, writing more albums. I have about 3 singles I'm working on that are going to be released before Tales of the Outlaw Poet come out. And that's about as far as ahead as I have right now is the 3 singles and then the album. And then I really like to start playing in Minnesota, as many places as I can, surrounding areas, Midwest. I love the Midwest. The last 7 months of my life, I've been traveling around the country, and nothing really hits home like the Midwest for me. And if I can find places like, the dream is to play at First Ave, and the dream is to play at these great Minneapolis or these great Minneapolis venues and these great places that are so famous and I've been to so many times. As many concerts I've been to, I just sit there and I think someday I'm gonna be up there, and that's the goal for now. So I guess we'll see what happens.
Great. Besides Spotify and YouTube, where can we find Outlaw Poet, and where can we also find any other greats that you have recorded besides Spotify and YouTube?
Everywhere, Apple Music, Pandora, everything except SoundCloud, I believe, as of now.
Great. I just want to thank you for being with us in the Americana Bistro Grill. For me, it's a pleasure and an honor talking to the Bob Dylan of the 21st century.
Did
You're
you
gonna
have
go
what was your
places.
favorite song on that? What was your favorite song on the EP?
What?
What was your favorite song on the EP?
All of them.
All of them.
Everything
Okay.
from the beginning to the end.
Okay.
I loved all of
Yes.
the titles. I remember the titles, but again, you can't
The first
pick
one is
one
Issues.
favorite. You
The
can't
second
pick
one
one favorite.
is. Oh, go ahead.
You
Well, for instance, I remember when I wrote this. So this album has taken me about 8 years. I've been working on it altogether. Issues I wrote when I was 20 years old. I'm a framer. I've been building houses, and I was building this house way up in Pengilly, Minnesota. This is way up north. Building it for a CEO of an airline, and it was on a lake. And first thing in the house is you do the basement, but the walls of this basement were 12 feet tall. So I'm down in this big hole. I heard a song on the radio and I thought, you know what? I'm just moving lumber all day today. I'm going to write a song in my head. And I wrote Issues, which is the first song in the EP. And I wrote it all in about 45 minutes. And I just started thinking to myself, I was like, sometimes I feel, sometimes I feel. Then all of a sudden, it seemed like I blinked and I had the whole song finished. And I was like, hey, boss, I got to go use the bathroom. And I went and grabbed a piece of paper and I wrote the whole song down quick. And then I went back to work and I looked through it later. I was like, you know what? Picked up my guitar and I started playing some music. And I was like, wow, that was maybe I got to write more songs. And ever since then, I've kind of been writing more songs and more songs. And some of these songs that song didn't take me long to write, but some of my other songs, like Broken, that took me like 3 years to finally finish. One of a Kind, I started writing that song. That was the first one where I wrote the music first. I picked up my guitar and I started playing the chords. I kind of gave myself like a, I was like, oh, okay. I'll hold on to that. Tried writing, nothing came to me. About a year and a half later, the rest of the song came to me. I was like, oh, yeah, all right. Here we go. And Peace of Mind, that's also the last song on the album that's coming out too. And that's just the Outlaw Poet EP, or Tales of the Outlaw Poet that's coming out is basically a story from a certain time of my life to a certain time of my life. And I kind of like to tell it in a poetic fashion, in a mysterious way where you can take it how you want to, but they're all different things in my life. And, Broken was about some people that are very close to me. A lot of people think it's a song about a breakup or about losing a relationship, but it's actually about two people that I grew up with and I love very much. And it was about suffering. And sometimes the only way you can be there for someone is just suffering with them and enduring with them. And Broken came, and then I wrote that song for them. And I love them very much. But writing, it really, it comes from a place of the heart. And if you can feel that, then I hope that other people can too. And I hope that they're really going to like Tales of the Outlaw Poet.
And that was the reason why I couldn't choose one favorite song, because every one of them got to the heart. In addition to getting to the heart, they came from, not only did they come from the heart and it affected my heart, but I could feel what is called the soul of the music. There are people who write a song or sing a song and it's not the same as the experience, the soul. In each song that you had in that EP, you had everything in the soul, and you were able to convey that to other people, including myself. And of course, the photos that you did in the YouTube channel was great.
You like those, huh?
It was a stroke of genius. And the fact that
Wow.
you could
Thank you.
really get into someone. That's why I couldn't be any selective of any song. When you hear the whole EP, to get to hear the whole, to get to the heart of the song, to get to the heart of the EP, get to the heart of the musician, especially you. I had to listen to each one, each song, and hear it from the beginning to the end, and to make sure that I understood what was going on and the meaning and everything. To hear it 10 times, not only because I loved the melody, but I was also able to appreciate the verses and appreciate what you were trying to convey. That is a true singer-songwriter. And that's what you conveyed, the same way that Bob Dylan conveyed the reality and the truth. You did the same thing, conveying the reality and the truth in this century. And I commend you.
That's an honor to hear, sir. Thank you so much.
And I do want to invite my public. Please, please take a look at Johnny Williams' YouTube channel and visit him on Spotify and all of the other digital media. In addition, please listen to Outlaw Poets EP. Listen to it in every way you could find. Who knows? Maybe one day we could even hear it on vinyl or on CD. But right now, listen to it digitally. Enjoy it. Feel
Right.
the words. Feel the verses. And support independent artists like him, because these artists are the true voices of not only Minnesota, they're the true voices of the Midwest and the true voices of America. And I'm also extending an invitation to all other Americana artists, regardless of where they're singing or where they're from, to please come to the Americana Bistro Grill so that we also can promote what is the true music. In addition, I'm taking this from PBS. The Americana Bistro Grill does not run on its own money. We also need donations. I don't like asking people for donations, but if you're willing to support independent artists and support us interviewing independent artists, you can visit me at my Zelle at rcag62@gmail.com. In addition, you can also visit our channel in YouTube under Alvarez-Galloso or in Brighteon, BitChute, Rumble, and Gab. And for me, it's a pleasure and an honor having you, Johnny Williams, in our show.
Thanks again for having me very much.
And we're gonna be hearing more from you in the near and in the distant future. Without much,
Thank you.
this is Roberto Alvarez-Galloso of the Americana Bistro Grill, saying to everybody and inviting others to practice peace in, peace out, and peace everywhere. Until the next time.